Hi everyone and welcome to episode 4 of the Meme Week. So today I decided to go with an Elementalist, Flicker Strike with Aura Sacrifice. So the idea behind this build, or the origin of this build, comes from Nismat, my girlfriend, who loved this build and used to play this build a lot before the nerfs of double dipping. And so I decided to redo it for 3.0 and maybe see what's up, if I liked it or not. I never played Flicker Strike before, so it was a first for me, and probably a last. This whole process made me nauseous. It was very comfy at first. It's very nice for maps with low density. It clears very quickly. It's really nice. But I ended up killing Shaper with Cyclone and Flicker Strike for positioning simplicity. Of course, I will show you a Shaper now. So the 4 Guardians went without too many problems after the respec, because I could not kill a Shaper on stream. I had to go. I had to finish stream to end stream because I was getting triggered. So it took me some time to just redo the build, use a few over the free grats, buy new pieces of gear, and go for it again. So after I respect off stream without lag this time, I took Shaper down on my first try, but it took me 5 portals. So this is what you're witnessing right now. Same a poorly edited Shaper. So you can watch this, but overall I would say I was kind of disappointed in the build. I was expecting more, but I think I'm getting pretty tired, and all those meme builds are getting to me. And leveling, doing the same thing all over again every day, not sleeping, making the videos. It's pretty difficult, and I need stronger builds. But yeah, it's a very interesting experience. So the way I leveled this build was Firestorm all the way. I have all the caster leveling gear, so I went with Firestorm, and as usual, I level a lot up until level 70. In general, in Blood Aqueduct, I really love this zone. I think this is my favorite zone. Here you can see a nice desync. I hate desync. But yeah, Blood Aqueduct, favorite zone. And then at level 70, I did my Merciless Lab and started doing bridge domains. It was very smooth. We leveled with Nismat. She leveled a new character too. So we did like bridge domains up until level 80. And this is when I tried my first Shaper attempt. And it was a huge miserable experience. And so I kept going. I went to level 84, got some more leech, and just gave up. I just gave up on stream. I knew I could kill it off stream, but with the lag and the desyncs, I just couldn't. Build was too weak. I could not handle the desyncs. So here we are. I still ended up killing Shaper, but it was rather difficult. Overall, not my proudest moment in PoE, but hey, we did it. So I'll let you enjoy the rest of the fight, and I'll see you again in a few minutes to talk about the build, my gem setup, and of course you'll be able to see the passive building of the character for the Shaper kill specifically, and yeah, enjoy the fight, guys.
the beginning. It must be perfect.
For who? Father, it's me.
Everything short of perfection is irrelevant. Embrace my misery. Gaze to the abyss.
Buy me some time. To me, exile, quickly!
Embrace my misery. Failure, ambivalence, death. Ultimate chaos.
I need to close
From the
this.
void.
I need more mana.
Failure, ambivalent.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Failure, ambivalence, death. A final.
Welcome back. So after this painful shaper, filled with misplays and struggle, but we still did it. It's time to go over to my gem setup, my gear, and a few choices. So of course, this is an auto sacrifice build. I'm using an auto sacrifice, 3 reds, 1 green, 2 blues. This is the same setup for Cyclone and for Flicker Strike. So for Cyclone, the skill I used to kill Shaper, here's the link setup. I use Immolate, Concentrated Effect, Cyclone, Fire Pen, Wed, and Ruthless. For Flicker Strike, you just want to replace Cyclone and Flicker Strike, Conquer Effect with AoE, and then Fire Pen and Ruthless with Multi Strike and Melee Splash. Chest, I'm using a Belly of the Beast, same colors. I think optimal colors would be like 3 blues. So you would be able to fit an Immolate instead of faster attack and you would have more damage. But I didn't feel like recromming. I was kind of in a rush, so I kept those colors for War Chief. This is where most of my damage comes from. So today was not really like killing with Cyclone. It was more like a mixture of both. But melee builds, it's very often like two-handed at least. Ancestral War Chief doing a big part of the job. So here my setup is Conk Effect, Fire Pen, Ancestral War Chief, faster attack, or Immolate. Elemental Focus and Elemental Damage with attack support. Rings, I'm using 2 timings because one of my mod lent me 2 of those rings, but you can of course use 2 just opal rings with life and res and fire damage crafted with essences if you have. For neck I use Exhaust Blood because of the Covered in Ash is actually a very good offensive and defensive boost. On top of my head I think it makes enemies move 20% slower, and it makes them take 20% more fire damage, which is perfect for us. Gives us some defenses, some offenses, on top of 10% penetration, 10% maximum life, and some fire res. This is a very good amulet for the build. You could be using an Namahutiki instead, maybe with 1 frenzy charge. This is more damage, I think. Then rare boots with the regen enchant. We have a lot of res here, regen, sorry, here. Devoto's Devotion, mostly because I needed a dex, and there's lots of attack speed. It's pretty sweet, attack speed, movement speed. Gloves, nothing too crazy, you just want to go with like life, res, and that's about it. Elemental damage with attack, life, res, and some flask charge something. Utility here I have faster attacks, Stone Golem, Leap Slam, and Fortify. We're pretty short in gem slots here. And in my gloves I have Cast when Damage Taken, Immortal Call, Summon Flame Golem, and Blood Rage. And finally the aura setup, the main utility and damage setup. This is Enlighten, Blasphemy, Flammability, and Wrath. This is a very good damage setup, gives you a lot of damage. As for Flask, I like to go with 1 life Flask. Instant helps a lot. Wise Hope is a must-have in this build, gives you a lot of damage. Then here you can have a free slot. Since I'm using Exhaust Blood, I cannot use Aziri's Promise. But if you use a Namahutiki, you can use an Aziri's Promise instead. Here I went with a Granite with like some freeze. I have freeze everywhere, just for the Shaper fight. And Quicksilver, Silver gives you some damage. It's pretty cool. Skill tree, of course you can find it in the POB link I will be linking under the video. I changed the skill tree after streaming because during stream I could not take Shaper down due to desyncs, weak build, and bad build, bad skill tree in general. I was loading up on damage here on top, and here I was taking a lot of elemental damage when I should just have went here and just taken like the whole duelist part, which is a very strong thing. Was the Fireborn Jewel. I had this lying in stash, so I was kind of sad, and I was after stream for not killing Shaper, and I was like looking at my stash and uniques I had to make it work, and I saw this jewel, and yeah, I just, hey, I'm gonna use this here, so we can have Wrecking Ball and Destroyer on top of all those very good nodes. So this is what I changed. I got a Frenzy Charge just to have more mobility around. You proc Frenzy Charge by igniting. We ignite a lot. So yeah, this is the skill tree I went with at level 84. Liege of the Primordial, Shaper of Desolation, Paragon of Calamity, and Pendulum of Destruction for ascendancies. So yeah, I'm kind of rushing things because I'm tired and I want to sleep early today, as early as I can. So the build, I'm not a big fan of Flicker Strike, but if you like the playstyle, this is very smooth. It made me nauseous. Actually, I was leveling in Breaches with Flicker Strike and I wanted to throw up. And this is when I decided to switch to Cyclone because that was not possible. I'm not going to play a game that makes me sick. So if you do not have this motion sickness, then I suggest you definitely try Flicker Strike and not Cyclone like I did for the most part. Overall, pretty strong build. Pretty difficult for Shaper in general. Cyclone is not the best skill for Shaper. You don't really have any burst damage. I'm not Volpacked. I'm not extremely tanky. I am tanky, but I'm not extremely tanky. So yeah, that's about it. Tomorrow, I still do not know what I'm gonna play. Originally, I planned on a full fire Blade Vortex Berserker. I might still go for it because I don't feel like making a new build tonight. It's not really Mimi. It's just something different that I haven't done yet. Should be very strong. So yeah, it's not a meme build per se. It's just not something that I would play in general. And yeah, this is my meme week. This is my celebration, and this is something special to me. So I'll probably be playing Fire BV tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow morning, guys. Hope you enjoy the video, and take care.